that is shared between client and ticket granting server. And authenticator, it is encrypted using the session key that is shared between client and ticket granting server, and identification number YAM and the timestamp. And as a reply from the ticket granting server, it sends a response to the client, which mainly consists of the ticket and a message that is encrypted using KCTGs. And the ticket mainly consists of is mainly encrypted using the secret key of a week. And in fifth step, the client will make a request to the server V. It consists of three fields, that is option, ticket, and authenticator. The ticket mainly is encrypted using the secret key of the server. Upon decrypting it, it will get the session key that can be used between the client and the application server. And authenticator, it is encrypted using the session key of client and server to authenticate itself. And in message 5, the authenticator includes several new fields. One is the subkey field, and another one is the sequence number field. Subkey field, it is the client's choice for an encryption key to be used to protect the specific application session. In this field, it is omitted. The session key from the ticket KCV is used. And sequence number, it is used to detect the replay attack, whether it is being message is being played again or not. And as a response from the application server to the client, it is encrypted using the secret key, session key, which is shared between client and the server. And as the previously discussed, sub key and sequence number. So this is how the client can access the services from server V in Kerberos version 5.
Okay. Now, Kerberos reps. A full service Kerberos environment consists of a server and a client. Um, it has this Kerberos server is used for authentication, and many clients they first go through the Kerberos server and then they connect with the another client. So there are two requirements for a server: a user ID of the clients and hashed password should be stored in the database, and the Kerberos server must share a secret key with each server that is present. So it is forming a realm of Kerberos. So there is a main Kerberos server and other smaller Kerberos servers are forming there, so which all share a secret key among each other. Let's see what Kerberos realm is. So as you can see, there is a Kerberos authentication server and a TGS ticket granting server, which is connecting with 1 to n users, and there are application servers 1 to n users. So the user wants to connect with the application server. He cannot do it directly because of the above mentioned workstation problems. So we go through the Kerberos for authenticating the user and authenticating the application server. It has a Kerberos server, which is the main server. A number of clients are connected to the Kerberos. A number of application servers are connected. Okay. In inter-realm authentication, let's see, there's a client which sends a request that it wants to access a server to a Kerberos server, to its local Kerberos server. As you can see, the client sends a message in the first step to an application server, that is its local server, local Kerberos server, which will send a ticket to the client. The client then sends this ticket using this ticket, and along with the ticket, it sends an address to the remote Kerberos server where the actual server is. So the client uses this ticket and accesses the remote Kerberos server, which will send again a ticket that will be used by the client to authenticate itself with the server and then connect. So here's first the client sends message to application server. Application server will send a ticket to client. Client will then send a ticket to send using the ticket, it will send a message to ticket granting server. A ticket granting server will send the ticket and the address of remote application server in the fifth step. And in the sixth step, the remote application server will send the ticket and address to the actual server which it wants to connect. So here the client just wants to connect with the server. In order to do that, it has to go through this whole process. Moving on, so the difference between Kerberos 4 and 5, the environmental shortcomings. In version 4, there is encryption system dependence. Version 4 requires the use of DES. Export restrictions on DS as well as doubts about the strength of DS were thus of a concern. That's why we moved to AES in version 5. And moving on to second difference is network protocol. In version 4, version 4 uses internet protocol addresses. Other addresses types such as ISO network address are not accommodated. That's why we moved to version 5. where the network addresses are tagged with the type and length, allowing any network address type to be used. So here on the IP address, here any network address can be used. Next one is byte order. The sender of a message employs a byte ordering of its own choosing and tags the message to indicate the least significant byte in the lowest order address or most significant byte in the lowest address. So this technique works but does not follow established conventions. That is, the length of the byte is not in order, whereas in version 5 we follow a particular standard. In ticket lifetime in version 4 is around uh, so here the tickets are encoded in 8-bit quantity in units of 5 minutes. So each bit will live for 5 minutes. So 28 bits will into 5 is 1280 minutes. So it will live for 21 hours. Here the ticket lifetime is arbitrary. Until the ticket is being used, it lives. So next one is authentication forwarding. Version 4 does not allow credentials issued to one client to be forwarded to another client. So here again replay attacks are possible in version 4 because credentials of clients are not passed. That is passed in version 5 to the servers, of course, so that they can authenticate the clients too. The inter-realm authentication is not in inter-realm authentication in version 4. It requires around n square relation between Kerberos to Kerberos, whereas in version 5 it has been reduced by using new techniques. The another type of differences we can find are technical deficiencies. Technical deficiencies of Kerberos. One is double encryption. The tickets provided to clients are encrypted twice, once with the secret key of the target server and then again with the secret key known to the client. The second encryption is not necessary and is computationally wasteful, but it is included in the process. PCBC encryption. Encryption in version 4 makes use of non-standard mode of DES, known as propagating cipher block chaining. It has been demonstrated that this mode is vulnerable to an attack involving the interchange of ciphertext blocks. So version 5 provides explicitly integrity mechanisms such checksum or hash code is attached to message prior to encryption using CBC. So PCBC is present in version 4, CBC in version 5. Now session keys. Each ticket includes a session key that is used by the client to encrypt the authenticator sent to the service associating with that ticket. In addition, the session key may be subsequently by use. So that's why in version 4, same session key is used throughout the process. In version 5, we change session key is used for one session like that. So password attacks are still possible. Even that's one of the deficiency of the Kerberos. The message from uh, application server to the client includes a material encrypted with a key. If we can crack that key, we can completely decode the entire thing. So that is one deficiency in Kerberos technology. Thank you.
Oh, so good, Yashas and team. So, students, some points you should remember with respect to the concepts presented by Yashas are main thing, what is Kerberos, and about Kerberos version 4, version 5. So, these three concepts with respect to his presentation is very much important with respect to this module. When I speak about Kerberos 4 and 5, the difference is very much important. What are the, as he spoke about technical deficiencies. So if you just remember these technical deficiencies, you will be able to identify what is the difference between each. So this difference has been asked in the previous paper for 10 marks, Kerberos version 4 and version 5. Okay, so that is an important concept. By the way, the presentation was also really good. Extra information was being given by Yashas and team during the explanation. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Yashas.
Yes, sir.
I request you to just upload the PPT in the drive which I shall send, and you all gave the feedback.
Yes, sir. We all gave the feedback.
I guess you have not given for some subjects. Yashas and Karthik, just give a check once again. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Team number 3.
Yes,
I
sir.
guess it is Prakriti and team.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. You can start, ma.